Jake, Kelly,
Ross, my
how's
dog.
it going?
It's going well, bro. How are you?
Just living the Lancaster, PA dream,
Yeah.
the East Coast.
Is it
But
getting cold out there?
the country, that's where you're at. How's LA? LA living.
LA's getting cold as a motherfucker, bro. I be shivering out here. I gotta turn my fan off, turn the heat on. It's cold. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Where's the camera? Right there. Kanye, Gary B, what up?
There you go.
Yeah.
Just saying what's up to them. Yeah,
Hey, my
LA
God.
is probably a lot nicer than Lancaster. Lancaster's probably more rainy than Seattle, London.
Yeah.
The world, very rainy place. So
I mean, can't complain, right? There's much worse places in the world to be.
that's right. That's right.
Real shit.
So tell me a little bit about what's been going on out in LA. You moved there in what year? So 2016?
Yeah, September of 2016, I came out here.
Man, 4+ years.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time now, almost 5 years. It feels crazy, to be honest. I never really, I don't know, growing up, like as much as I was like attracted to the West Coast, and I guess you could say like West Coast culture, just from like my older brother, like putting me onto like music when I was in like 4th grade, learning about like Eazy and NWA and like just what was going on out here. Like, I don't know, as much as I was like attracted to that and like that, I never really pictured that I would be here one day. So it feels pretty cool. It's dope.
What brought you out to LA? Like, you're from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
500,000 people
717.
in the county, 70,000 people in the city, which is where I'm at.
Yeah. It's not the biggest town. I mean, I graduated from school out here. I went to FIDM in downtown LA. What do I really say about that school? I mean, it was whatever. It was a good experience. It was good to go through there. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of the teachers and just the information that they teach us, like, I think a lot of it's just outdated. It's obviously the best part about that whole, I mean, I don't know if it's obvious, but in my opinion, it's very obvious. Just the best thing about that school was just all the kids there, or all the young men and the young women, my peers, everybody my age, everyone trying to figure out what they're trying to do in life. And everyone has all these ideas and all these opinions, and everybody is from, I mean, all over the fucking world. It's crazy. So just hearing that honestly was way better than anything any fucking teacher, maybe besides like a few there, like ever taught me, But it's good. I have friendships there that are continuing to this day, people that I'm working with, people that not only are they my homie, and not only do I kick it with them and, like do whatever the fuck we got to do, but it's also people that like, we're on the same type of shit. People want to succeed, people want to grow, and that's who I need to surround myself with, because that corny ass old saying that you always heard when you were a kid, you are who you surround yourself with. That is so damn true. And that is so important. And I mean, I think people really need to understand that, because like a lot of shit that we were told when we were young, and shit that was just our parents or our teachers or just older people saying to us, like, we are becoming those people, like those motherfuckers weren't saying that just because they just wanted to hear themselves talk, like people, I feel like people, and I mean, I'll even say, yeah, my age and people I know and my peer group, and sometimes myself even, but I've had to work on this a lot, but even especially people younger than me, so many people just like, when someone is there trying to say something to somebody and not even give them wisdom, like not even that every conversation you need to try to be in to like preach to somebody, but if someone's just trying to spit some game real quick, like people just need to be receptive of that. People need to understand that, like, if someone is saying something to you that you don't hear that often and that isn't normal conversation, like you need to pay attention to that type of shit, because someone is saying that for a reason. Like, I don't know, that's how I am. Like, I'm 22 years old. Like, yeah, what the fuck do I know? Yada, yada. Like you said, I'm from Lancaster, Amish people, all this bullshit, whatever the fuck it is. But like, bro, I've been through some crazy ass shit out here, dog. Like, I know we talked the other day and like we chopped it up and I've been telling you some shit, but like, dog, shit's just been shit's been all over the place, bro. Like shit's been
You say,
wild.
when you say things have been all over the place, you've been through some shit. Let's not waste any time. Like, just describe that experience. The experience of living in LA. What is it? What's up? What's happening?
I just think no. Okay, this is something else I've tried to do. I don't, it's not I think, it's not I want to, it's not I will, this is just what it is. I'm going to do something. It's just fact. You know, I'm speaking it. This is what I'm doing. I'm not wishing anything anymore. This is real fucking life. I'm not playing some bullshit game. I'm competing at the game of life, you know? Kanye, Gary Vee, Mark Zuckerberg, those people, they are changing life. That's the type of shit. That's what I love. That's what I focus on. And what did I just say? The thing that I have learned out here is you need to focus. If you came out here for a reason, I'm just going to speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for anyone. I'll speak for myself. I came out here for a reason. The reason is even when I was young, let's just say when I was young, I've always loved clothes. My older brother, Zach, shout out my bro, huge inspiration, amazing man. Love that guy forever. We grew up in Westchester, PA, you know, huge like skate hub. I don't know how it is right now, but when we were growing up, that's where
Margera's from there.
Exactly. Jackass, Bam Margera, all that type shit. They were all in town. You know, that's what it was. Fucking by Fairman's, like all this shit, Westchester, you know, that's what it was. It was skate. So that's what I was so influenced by. That's what my brother put me on. He would get fucking CCS magazines in the mail, like skate magazines, like little fucking magazines. And we'd go through them and he'd be like, we would go through them. And
KYS, Can't Kill Yourself?
Exactly, bro. No. CCS, not CKY. CCS was a skate magazine. I can't remember what it stood for off top, but it was a skate magazine. Yeah, clothes, skateboard, yeah, all that shit. Like apparel shit you could buy, you know, products.
Yeah.
Well, we would look at this and it'd be like, then we'd sit there and, you know, like, I'm not gonna say that we grew up in the worst position, you know, but like we weren't a family who had it like that. You know what I mean? Like I'd ask my parents growing up for like a t-shirt from Palace Skateboards for Christmas, and a $50 t-shirt. If that's all you want, that's the only present you're getting. You know, like that type shit. Like that wasn't practical. You know what I mean? Clothing was never practical to my family. No, it was just you wake up in the morning, you put fucking clothes on, you go about your day. But as I was saying, when growing up, we were looking at these magazines and we'd be going through the pages just like pointing out like what we liked, you know. My brother, oh, I like this, skip through a couple things, oh, I'd want this, you know, like here and there he'd be choosing shit, whether it's shirts or hoodies, jackets, pants, shoes, skateboards, whatever the fuck it is. Me, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want to wear this with this, I think this would look cool with this, yada yada yada. All the fucking Tony Hawk games we had, he would always get so mad and make fun of me because I'd make a million characters and just like dress everybody different and like try and make shit look cool, like all this. So making clothes, and that was, I guess, like the first interaction I had with style and clothing, you know, like I didn't really know it, but I guess, I mean, that's like the earliest that I can remember, to be honest, was, or I guess trying to dress up as like Scotty 2 Hotty from the WWF, but like, that's another story. Yeah, so I always wanted to make clothes. And in 8th grade, I found out, 7th or 8th grade, I started watching people like thrift on YouTube. And I was like, whoa, like I never saw that before. You know, like I never even heard of that. Like, I don't even know how I found it, to be honest. Like probably just searching, I don't even know, random shit on the internet. But so I find this and I'm just like, damn, like Professor Snap, this fool, his name is PJ, he was from Utah. Like this kid like inspired me so young. Like, I don't know, it was just so cool. It just made me so attracted to clothes. Cause I was like, I could see that when he would wear certain shit or find certain shit or like put outfits together, like it would make him happy. You know, like I could tell like the progression, like at least when I was a kid, like it just seemed like he was getting happier and like he enjoyed it. And I don't know, it was something that was so uplifting, you know? And it was just so attracting to me because like I said, no one in my family was like into that type of shit. And I always thought it was cool, but then I always just heard everybody say it's just fucking clothes, you know?
So from skateboard to hip hop, how did you go from the style difference? How did you go from digging the Bam Margera scene and Steve-O to
Can I finish that last thing I was saying? Can I just finish that I'll wrap it up, but I just need to finish that. So just through all that, like through that early shit, and I knew I wanted to make clothes, but I never knew how. Being in Lancaster, you know, nobody does that, and I never knew how. And then just going through, you know, just learning more and finding more shit out and just being curious, you know, somebody introduced me to FITM, the college, and I was gonna go to the local university and live the local life and do exactly what I was going to be doing in high school for the rest of my life. And I knew deep down when I went to sleep at night and when I woke up first thing in the morning that that is not what I wanted to be doing with the rest of my life. So I just had to say, fuck it. I had to say, fuck it.
Yeah.
You think about making clothes, you say you want to do it, and I just had to do it. And I came out here, and that's what I came out to do. And there was so much bullshit I've had to deal with and a lot, but like I said, I've stayed focused and stuck to that goal. And here I am now putting out my first collection, fully cut and sewn, fully designed, damn near every single thing about this whole entire collection made by me, done by me, thought by me, out of my brain.
When we were at the gym one day, you said this was like June, May of 2016. You said to me, hey, don't tell my brother. I'm like, what? What the hell are you getting into right now? You're like, well, I could go to Millersville and wrestle, and I'll have a scholarship, and I will live at home and save money and work at the same place I'm working, come into Gracie, wrestle, do my thing, and I don't really know what major I'm going to do. I said, okay. He said, or I could go to school in LA. I said, okay, well, tell me more about that. And you're like, oh, I already applied. I already got my acceptance in. I researched all the schools in the country. This is the major I want to do. I said, so it sounds like you thought about this quite a bit, and there's one that you really want to go to. And you're like, well, you know, I said to you, I think, if you were 17, I said, what would 27-year-old Jake Kelly say to you? And you're like, without hesitation, you're like, I'm going to LA. So I still remember that conversation. That was almost 5 years ago.
And I mean, it's conversations like that I mean, like Ross, bro, like you've known me since I was like pretty young, you know, like middle school, you know, maybe middle school or maybe freshman year. Like you've known me for a long ass time. So like, I don't know. I have homies out here, and I mean, I have homies even back home, like people that I thought that I was close with forever. And like, I know I'm not the best at, you know, checking my phone and like doing shit. Like anyone out there, if you guys, I'm really sorry if you feel some type of way. I apologize.
Nah.
I don't know. I'm not in the best place. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't like to always be on my phone. But anyway, that type of shit, Ross, like, I don't know. I don't really know what I would have done at that time if I didn't have like somebody like you or somebody like, I mean, even remember Brock, like, I don't know. I talked to Brock about that too. Like there was just people close to me, you know, and like people older than me and people that I really respected and like people that I knew liked me, you know, people that I knew didn't just like me because I was a good wrestler and because I was really fucking good at fighting. And if someone came in the gym, they knew that I would fuck them up. Like, I mean, for lack of a better terms, bro, I was 15, 16, 17 years old, going around with my older brother who was 7 years older than me, whose aspirations were to be a pro fighter. And all I had to do—
Which he was.
Yes, which he was. He was very successful amateur, coach, and professional fighter. One of my biggest inspirations in my entire life. He has, honestly, like, I'm not going to speak on it, you know, because that's him. Hold on. I'm not going to speak on it, but
yeah,
my brother has one of the most amazing stories that any person I've ever met or ever heard of in my entire life. And I'm not even just saying that because he's my brother. I mean that 100% entirely through and through.
So here's what my question is. I said do the 10-year challenge of, you know, when you were 17, look back at 27, but you're halfway. So tell me, you know, What would you say at 22 to your old 17-year-old self? What advice would you, what lessons would you say that you learned, or what advice would you give yourself back then that you now know that you did not know at that time? It's a big one.
To be honest, Ross, like I said, I've been through a lot of shit, and I mean, there's a lot of things that I would like, not would like. There's a lot of things that I will and I want to share. I want to speak to the world and talk to people about, but there's certain things that right now at this moment I just don't really want to entirely explain. But I've gone through just so much shit out here and just so much bullshit, bro, and plenty of times where I've just had feelings and thoughts that I wouldn't really wish on my worst enemy, somebody that I really, really, really dislike. Like I've been in some bad places mentally and just in general out here. But at the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be who I am right now, and like, why would I want to live my life with going through every single day and living the rest of my life wishing that I could have changed something? Because all right, here, I'm about to go into something really, really, really fucking good right now. Why would I ever want to change anything? Because I need to love the person that I am. I can't be hating and wishing that I could change things about. I shouldn't be wishing and wanting to change things about myself that I can't change. Things that happened in the past and things that either maybe I said or that I did, or maybe it's how I treated somebody. Maybe I didn't treat somebody how I should have treated somebody, or maybe it was just a situation I didn't go about that I should have went about it. Whatever that may be. All of that has just been learning experiences to make me the person that I am today. And I feel like, and I love myself because of that. I've had to come this quarantine of me just being alone damn near every single fucking day and having to be in my head just at home working on shit or thinking about things. And yes, I've hung out with people and done things, but say 95% of the time I've been at home by myself. Like I've had to just learn to love myself and understand. And I feel like I'm so self-aware about myself and why I do things. And like, if I do something after the fact, I go home and like I think about, all right, why did this happen? Why did I act this way? Why did I say this? And I have to understand myself and I have to love myself. And I feel like a lot of people today, and I'll even just speak to people my age, let's just say anyone 18 to 25, like I'm right in the middle of there. I'm 22, but like people, I don't know. I know people those ages and it feels like people just want to try and be something that they're not, and I don't mean that to like try and speak down on anybody, like not everybody is maybe meant to do what they're trying to do, or maybe not everybody is meant to be the person that they are trying to be at that moment in time. Do you understand what I mean? And I feel like sometimes people want to, I feel like people, honestly, people want to be something that they're not because they want to please and they want to impress the people around them. And at the end of the day, that's not important, because when you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning, if you are not happy with yourself, nothing is going to go your way.
You made a point that a lot of people want to be somebody else because they're insecure and uncomfortable being themselves.
And it's true. And there's, I mean, Ross, and I'm not a perfect person. I may tell myself that I'm perfect every day, when I look in the mirrr. But
I don't know anyone perfect.
I may tell myself that, but that's because that makes me feel good about myself. That makes me feel confident. And like, obviously I know that there's things I can change and things that I can improve on. I'm not a moron. Like I said, nobody's perfect, but like I aim for perfect. I aim for perfection. While making this collection, let's just say this collection, while making this collection, if I didn't set out every single day for perfection, if I didn't set out to make the best, whatever product it was that I was working on that day, whether it was the PT, whether it was the sleeveless, whether the long sleeve, whether it was the EN bag, whether it was the bandana tie back, whether it was the bucket hat, whether it was the documentary, whether it was the album cover, or the track list, or the CD, or the photo shoot, or whatever the fuck it was, anything that it was that I had to do, all I tried to do was make it perfect. I tried to make it 100%, 110%, the best that I could possibly do. Because, Ross, when you go in a fight, when you're fighting somebody, when somebody goes into the cage, if one opponent, if the blue corner is 90% down and ready to be in that fight, he's there, but still in that little 10%, that little corner in the back of his head, there's still that little bit of doubt. And the man across the cage in the red corner is 100%, and he has no doubt, and he knows he's going to be victorious, and he knows he's going to come out on top, and he knows that every single thing that he's done every day is going to pay off and how important it is. That's what the difference is, even if it's something like that. But like I said earlier, what does confidence come down to? Confidence shouldn't mean you are society's standard of beauty or whatever the fuck that even means.
Yeah, you can't quantify that.
It doesn't
That's
mean
not
that you wear
something-
chrome hearts. It doesn't mean
That's
you wear
something you
chrome
do
hearts or wear
social
off-white or anything.
Like,
It means that you are confident in yourself. Confidence is the most attractive thing. And that is the best outfit you can wear. And that is the most important part of everybody's personal style, is your confidence. So if you're not confident, you're not going to live your life to the full potential, and you only get one life. You could die tomorrow.
So what are some of the things that you've already done living in LA that have led you to feel the way you're currently describing? What are some of the achievements and the productions? What are some of the objective wins that you've had out in LA, and despite adversity, despite living in one of the largest cities in the United States during the worst global pandemic? You're seeing the fucking brutal underbelly of the United States during trial and error, this tribulation time, rather.
For real.
What, describe the things that you have done that you succeeded in LA that have brought you to this Al Pacino any given Sunday locker room speech moment, talking about in the eye of the victor there lies no chance. Like, I'm kind of getting goosebumps. I watched your documentary earlier. Might have been the
Yeah, man. You're the only person in the world right now that has seen that.
I won't give any
So
spoilers.
that means a lot.
I won't give any spoilers, but that was an expose of a culture. I know where you're from. Now I kind of have an idea of where you're at, and I understand the journey across America. But what I really am getting at is, tell me a little bit of like the highlight reel. Like, if I was going Dog for Jake Kelly as a designer since 2016, what's your bout sheet look like? Like, where's your dubs at?
I think just my biggest W, I think my two biggest W's are just persistence and focus. And I mean, I could even maybe throw persistence out of there and just say at the end of the day, focus. Because I mean, like I've been saying it over and over, but it's so important. And I've learned this from studying very successful people that inspire me, people that are in either the field that I want to be or similar fields or fields that are around or things that I want to dabble in. You need to stay focused. But because I'll get along to your question. That's probably okay. There's just been
some of your clothes.
Yeah.
And
okay. No. I know. Okay.
Instagram post when I was wearing one of your first long sleeve tees.
Yeah.
Like, tell me your journey.
Okay.
Your work.
Okay. So when I first came out here, like I said, I didn't really know anything about making clothes at all. So I had a friend, shout out Lord Bills. Everyone follow Lord Bills on Instagram. It's my dog. It's my bro for life. We had a brand together, and he learned how to sew in high school and just growing up, doing his thing. So we would customize pants a lot. So he would teach me how to sew pants, sew panels or sew, patches. Just really, we were doing reconstructive denim in like the middle or like the tail end of 2016, September, October, November, around there. And then we were, he knew a little bit about Photoshop. So we would just make little things in Photoshop, get them printed somewhere and sell that shit. It did all right. got some rappers in it, you know, got a little bit of popping back then. Got into the On Some Shit store opening on Melrose because we gave Hesh some pants and somebody there recognized me, and it was me, Lord Bills, my homie Victor. That's his name. His music name is Lord Bills, but his name is Victor. And then my homie Max. And shout out my dog Max. He's across the pond now over at Central St. Martin's. That's my boy. Shout out him. He's amazing. But we go in there, and that was the coolest experience in my life, getting into that store opening early. It was just everybody who was in like that LA SoundCloud rap scene was there. The biggest one regret of my life, the biggest regret, honestly, this is the biggest regret of my entire life. It was I was standing here, and then it was my homie Victor and my homie Max. We're standing in there just inside the OSS store talking all this. Everyone's walking by us. Adam's walking by us. Xavier Wolf at the time was popping. I don't really know where he is now, but they walk by us, you know, cool ass people. And then who walks in? Lil Peep. Lil Peep walked in. He was with Tyler Grosso and Fat Nick, but Lil Peep, it's Lil Peep, bro. That's my second favorite artist of all time behind Kanye West. And he came in there, and all three of us liked him. But bro, we were all just like 18 and fucking pussies, and we didn't say anything. We were all too nervous. And I mean, within the next couple months, within a year, whatever it was, he passed away. And that's the only thing that I regret. And what that taught me was you can't ever hold back. You know, like I will never get that chance again. That is one of my favorite artists of all time. That man has touched my life and has helped me through one of the worst
and you had a party with him
in my life. And I was too much of a fucking pussy to go up and introduce myself to somebody who was what, a year older than me, 2 years older than me.
Yeah,
exactly. I was just scared. And that so much just taught me, like, now, like, if someone invites me to do something, or like if I'm out somewhere, like, and if I'm getting that little, you know, like your inner bitch, when your inner bitch is telling you to not do something because you know you should do it, but you have that little bitch inside you telling you not to do it.
Yeah.
When I hear that is one of the moments, if not the moment, the only moment that I think back to, because I don't know, I'll never get that back. I could I will meet Kanye West one day. I will meet Gary Vaynerchuk one day. I would love to meet Mark Zuckerberg one day. That would be incredible. I was thinking.
Yeah, 2016, real quick.
I could talk about him for a while.
I was about 12 feet away from Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was doing a keynote speech in Boston.
Oh, wow.
During the election. It was the day before the election. And like everything was electric. He like started off this marketing conference. And I just remember the one thing that was a takeaway from his talk was that he was just so comfortable speaking about what it is he's speaking. He was the most comfortable person on stage, and there was some huge names like Michelle Obama was the next year keynote, and Gary Vaynerchuk was more comfortable than her. I thought.
He's amazing. All right, so here's something I would like to say. Here's something I'd like to get out, and something I think everybody needs to know. So, yes, I am making clothes. That is what this collection is. You know, yes, collection 1, there's 6 pieces of clothing, 2 hats, a bag, 3 tops. But there's a documentary, there's a collectible, there's going to be a whole rollout. This is a body of work. You know, this is a full body of work. This is almost like if a hip hop artist was putting out their debut album. You know, that is what Jake Kelly collection was. That is if a hip hop artist was putting out their debut album. And what usually happens when an artist puts out their debut album, people see the potential, and people then they see the potential and they see the worth, and people want to work with that person. And because yes, if somebody helps me, I will 100% help that person. There's always mutual gain. But all I want with putting this out, like, people need to start taking me seriously, dog. Like, I was at a fashion show last week, and this motherfucker in the fashion show was using a hat that I made before, that I made a bunch of them, and I gave a bunch to Buffalo Exchange and Crossroads and all this shit, just like, because I'm not doing that brand anymore. I fucking made these dope ass hats. and this person's using them in a fashion show. And I'm like, I know people that know you, and like, I'm sure you've seen my shit on Instagram. Like, this shit is so lame, dog. Like, I am doing shit at such a high level over here. Like, I want to make clothes. That is what I want to do. But what have I come to understand about clothing? Let's just say, first off, if you walk outside naked, you go to jail.
That's right. Well, you should go to jail.
If you walk outside naked, you go to jail.
Yeah.
Clothing is the most, it is a necessity of life. Clothing is a necessity, and people take that for granted. I have come to realize how important clothing is for so many different aspects. And what does it mean to produce clothing? Because what is clothing at the end of the day? Clothing is a product. And what is a product supposed to do? Hold on, let me change that. What does a good, successful product do?
Fulfill a need?
Enhances everyday life.
Okay.
A good and successful product will enhance your everyday life. And what I want to do with Jake Kelly, the brand, here's something else I also want people to know. Yes, this is my name. I am Jake Kelly in the flesh. This is me. But this is a brand as well. I would like to be working with graphic designers. I would like to have somebody that is a much better pattern cutter and a much better sewer and a much better, maybe somebody who is a better photographer. You know, I need to be working with people who are experts at a specific field, because like I said, yes, it's my name, but that is a brand. You know, if Apple was named Steve Jobs would have went about Apple the same way. He focused on innovating and making the next greatest product that was going, change humanity and improve people's everyday life. And I want to be working with people who they need, like, I just want people to know that I want help. I want help. I'm asking for help because yes, I did this myself. I sewed everything. I did 99.9% of everything myself, besides my friend Rudy. Shout out Rudy. Rudy, you saved my life, bro. He helped me design this album cover, and he came in really clutch with doing photography when somebody else who was going to help me, circumstances came and they couldn't help me anymore.
Yeah.
But this whole thing, yes, I did it myself, but I want help. You can't build the greatest. Kanye West doesn't make a whole entire album by himself. Drake doesn't make a whole album by himself. Jay-Z doesn't make a whole album by himself. Why? Just because when I am making clothes and because my name is on it, why can people not understand that that is what I want? When Kanye made my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, bro, that was one of the greatest albums of all time. The list of people that was on there was an immense amount of people. He said, I want to make perfection. And how do I make perfection? I need to be able to bring in all the greatest minds to be able to contribute to one product. And that is what I want my clothing collections to be. I would love for, even if it's not people that I work with, let's say every single fucking day of the entire week, all day, if people could come in for maybe like a month at a time, or if it's weeks at a time, or whatever it is. And yes, everybody will be compensated. Maybe right now on, Friday the 13th, 2020, I don't got it like that. I don't have the bread like that. I don't have the money like that. So yes, maybe I won't be able to pay everybody what I understand it needs to be paid. But if you are only making clothes and making product for money, then I don't want to work with you. Like, I want to make product with, and that's how it is. It's product, because I don't even want to just make clothing. I want to make clothes. I want to make utensils, forks, spoons, knives, plates, bowls, things for the everyday, carpets, maybe furniture, things that people can use for their everyday. That is a specific style and can be made with materials, recycled materials, things that we can be really green, things that are progressive, and things that are for the future. People, like, we need to be thinking for the future. I have a sister who is 10 years younger than me. Like, I think about her. Everything I do is for her, you know? I want her to live on a much better world, let alone in a much better America than the America that I have to live in. So why would I not want to be trying to build the greatest American company that potentially this country has ever seen? I want to be able to build something, have factories in Lancaster where people could produce things, maybe a factory out here, maybe a factory in middle America somewhere. I would love to have programs maybe in like inner cities, somewhere in LA, Lancaster, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, places around the country where we could have, let's call it a youth center or a rec center, but people could come in, and if they want to learn how to make clothes, if someone wants to learn how to screen print, if there's people who want to make music, whether that's hip hop, whether that's whatever it may be, you know, people could come in, they could learn, they could improve at a task. And even if it's not something somebody wants to do for the rest of their life, like kids need to be productive, kids need to be learning things, and we need kids to be busy. We need kids to not be sitting around doing nothing, because there's been so much violence this year. RIP King Von, you know, like I know he was successful in doing his thing, but like there's kids who were in his position, and it's so sad seeing people that are so talented and seeing people who have so much potential and people who are trying to do better for not only themselves but the people around him. Like King Von, when he made his first 100K, he brought it back to the hood and broke it down and gave money to all of his friends. Like, but that man now, tragically, and I mean, it's terrible, but he's not with us anymore, you know, like because of just violence. And I don't know what that stems from. I'm not from those situations, you know, but as somebody who just appreciates, I mean, even if I'm going to specifically talk about hip hop, somebody who specifically appreciates hip hop so much and has been impacted and influenced by that my entire life and will continue to be. I mean, I care about that. I care about the people in it. I care about the future of it. I care about where it is now, what it used to be and where it was and what it will be, you know. And it's so sad when we just see people lose their lives so early. I think it's just so important that, I don't know, we need to just be trying to uplift each other. We need to be trying to make a better America. Like, why are we, this is the country we live in. I understand we had 4 years of division and 4 years of hate and 4 years of this side versus that side, but that's not what we want. We want everybody to come together. We want everybody to be uplifting. Don't we want this whole entire country to look like Dubai? Like, don't we want this whole country to be like super future or look like Tokyo, like look like those type of places? Like, and I don't know how those are, like,
I think the
you
nice
know,
thing,
like
one of
people
the
wise,
things
you know,
about
but
America,
I'm saying future. Like, why do we not just everyone try to uplift, everybody come together, and everybody just try to make the best things possible in whatever that may be, whatever industry, whatever field of work, study, manufacturing, whatever product, whatever it may be. Like, people just need to come together for a common goal.
I think that America is an amazing place. I think this year has put us under some extraneous circumstances that no one, and at least I don't know of, could have predicted. But one of the things that, you know, we're talking about comparing to Tokyo and Dubai and whatnot is, yeah, those are remarkable places, but, you know, United States has some pretty remarkable places.
This is the
I
greatest
think that
country on
there's
earth.
no objective, like there's no objective perfect. You were touching on this earlier, like perfect. And in my definition, and what I think that you were sort of hinting at before, was utilizing your time to the absolute best of your ability. That is your perfect work. So for you, who is focused on your product and your production and your creative capacity every single day while you're in LA, which is one of the hotbeds for culture in the world, you have, what you've done is effectively created the most perfect Jake Kelly collection, part one, insofar as that you possibly can, given the resources that are available to you right
Absolutely.
now. And what you're trying to do, you know, with speaking with me and speaking on the internet and releasing this out into the world, is attract more like minds to come and join the movement and assist you in any manner. I mean, I've already talked to several people I know, software programmers. I have a friend who's a very active jiu-jitsu practitioner, and created a clothing apparel line when he was in college, that had, you know, hip hop influence with more of a scene.
And it's not even about just trying to bring together like-minded people, because the way that I was brought up, the way that I was raised, that my experiences through childhood, when it was growing up, being born in Westchester, being in a very mixed community, very diverse, and then moving to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where maybe in my whole high school, I could maybe count the amount of people who weren't white on both of my hands, like maybe. But what was so great about that, Ross, what was so great and why I feel so fortunate and why I think this way and why I don't care about being like-minded with someone. You know, I mean, obviously certain things, but I don't need to be exactly like somebody I'm working with. The reason is because when I was in my very formative years in junior high, from let's say like 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, I would go with my brother to MVJ Athletics in Delaware, and we would train there: boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, strength and conditioning with Greg Pritchett. Amazing man. He really changed my life, and he's impacted my life forever. And I think about him every day. But going down there, it's funny because my brother and I, especially me, I was so different from everybody there. I was this super skinny, awkward, like prepubescent white kid from farm town, Pennsylvania. And everyone there, it was in Bear, Delaware. So it's like near, like Newark, like just near in Delaware. Like it's not the most suburban, like upper middle class, wealthy areas. Like there was people maybe who trained at this gym like that, but not everybody, like some people had to get it how they got it. You know what I mean? But what that taught me was, bro, it did not matter. Like it doesn't matter like what somebody does or what somebody looks like or what their job is or this. Like character is so important. Like I don't give a fuck. I literally do not give a flying motherfuck if somebody has a college degree, bro. Like what? Like I'm not gonna want to work with somebody potentially. I don't know. I would love to think it, but potentially give somebody a life-changing opportunity just because they didn't do some bullshit for a couple years and get a fucking piece of paper. But somebody who just grinded their ass off at home and taught themselves everything on YouTube and just through trial and error and experience, like that is so much better. And you are so much more knowledgeable than somebody who just learned shit from a book or a teacher who is 40 years older than you, who all she wants to talk about is some fucking dresses. Like, bro, we're in 2020. Like, I don't even, when I was out today walking around fucking LA, I don't even know if I saw a female wear a dress all day. Like females are so like, and obviously very broad stroke statement right there, but like those teachers wanted to be so old fashioned, and like,
But
we
they're
are
teaching
so,
fashion.
sorry?
They're old fashioned, but they're teaching fashion.
They were very progressive, like socially, like those teachers. That's like how, I mean, damn near everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but let's just say those teachers, they're very progressive socially. Fidham was a very diverse school. There was straight people, gay people, trans people, white, black, like any Mexican, people from China, people from the Philippines, people from Sweden, like from all over the world. You were around every single culture that you could think of. It was amazing, so teachers there were very progressive, but it's like, I don't know, like even when you, like, let's just say if you would go to try and talk to your parents, or like if I would go to talk to my parents about like what they think fashion is, like I'm sure they would tell me something probably from when they were in like the 80s or the 70s or like whenever the fuck it was, or maybe, you know what I mean? Like that, or what they learned was like proper, elegant, high fashion.
Yeah.
But like, what does that even mean nowadays? Like, see, and that's why I don't even like looking. Here's an amazing point that I really want everybody to know and really understand. Yes, I'm putting out clothing, but when I look at this and when I think about this, like this is just art, dog. This is art. This is a full body of work of just art. This is self-expression. This is my thoughts. This is my feelings. This is everything that I have been going through from the first day that I decided to make the first sample for this collection until November 27th, 2020, when I release it. Like this is a culmination of everything. And that's why this is why I love hip hop so much. This is why I love it. And this is why I know that I'm so different, and why I'm on such a different fucking wavelength, and why I know I'm going to succeed and just do so much better than everyone else.
For you.
Because listen. So like I said, this is such just like a body of work, a culmination of everything, you know? So then after this, what's the next collection going to be? A complete evolution, a complete innovation, a complete now step ahead. I have to do it then whenever I make that first sample of my next collection, boom, it's from that moment forward. You know, nothing in the past can influence me, nothing anymore. I have to, like, you know how like when Kanye puts out albums and every album is so different, and not only is every album so different, but his style is different, like how he dresses is different, like everything about his life, you know, starts to shift, and it starts to move, and it starts to grow and progress. He never regresses. Kanye West always progresses. And that's why he has always been such an influence to me since the 3rd grade when I first heard him. He always progresses. And I've understood that that is how I want my collections to be. And that is how I want to, that is how I want to attack clothing. That is how I want to attack clothing. That's how I want to approach this. And that's how, like, it's all just a body of work. Like, Ross, this is my debut album right here. Jake Kelly Collection 1. Like, I made this cover art with my friend Rudy. I made it. He touched it up. Boom. I made this.
You also made my logo.
No, hold on. It's signed and numbered on the back. There's 19 of them. My signature. There's 1 through 19.
Yeah.
I made a track list for all of it. All the pieces. The PTV one, the sleeveless top, long sleeve, bandana tie back, bucket hat, and then the EN bag, and then the documentary. I burned. It's a 50-minute documentary that I burned onto this, and I have one for myself and one for my boy Max Mill, because that's my dog. Like I said, I'm saving one for him. But there's going to be 17. The first 17 orders from this collection are going to get these. Obviously, I'm never going to do them again. They're numbered. They're all individual. All the cases are different. I spray painted all of them black, the back, but I don't know if you can tell, but like this one's purple. So like the inside, like when light shines on it, like there's purple right here. And then there's some that are green. There's some that are pink. There's some that are orange. There's some that are blue. So not only are they then going to be numbered, but they're going to then be even more unique because of the colors of the case. Like, bro, everything about this is so down to the last detail, dog. I feel like what's his name? I feel like Stanley Kubrick out here, dog, like making The Shining. Like everything is down to the exact last detail. Like I hope that you watch this documentary again, and I hope that you just like realize some more shit, because everything is purposeful. Every song, why every scene is the way it is. Like everything is purposeful, ladies and gentlemen. Like this isn't no joke. I'm not just trying to do some streetwear, some cool shit so I can get likes on Instagram and so I can get popping on Instagram and go to cool parties and get girls and get more likes and feel cool about myself. Like, this is what I want to do. I am going to dedicate my life to this, and I want to make the best possible bodies of work that I possibly can. And I just want people who want to make the best product possible and leave a mark for history. I am making things that are going to last so much longer than I am, Ross. Like, these are going to be not only in possession, but be talked about, be read about, be researched about for much longer than I'm going to be here. Like this, Ross, this right here, bro, people can look at this 100 years from now. Like, do you realize that? Like, this isn't just some 2020 or maybe some 2025. Like, this is on the internet. This is forever. I am not just speaking to right now. Like, I can't wait for 5 or 10 years to go by and be able to look back and see this progression and just see not only where I'm at, but the people that are around me. Like I went through so much bullshit, and I've had to deal with so much things, whether that is like work wise, or whether that's personally, or whether that's like relationship wise. Like I've been through some bullshit, dog, and I've been feeling pretty shitty lately. You know, shit has been not really been working out my way, you know, with how I've been wanting it to with certain situations. But
Don't last, but tough people do.
exactly. And that's all that, dog, this is just for the future. You want to know something amazing? Pac gave the bars to Kanye, and Kanye's giving the bars to me, and now I got to give the bars to y'all.
That's a exclamation point on it. Jake,
It's forever, dog. This is forever.
I'm excited for you, man. I love hearing the energy. I love hearing the excitement. It's not all hype. This is hard work. I've seen it, and I can't wait for everyone else to see it. They're going to enjoy this expose that we just put on.
Yes, sir.
Get popping.
Thank you, man. Hey, before we dip out, everybody go follow Ross on Instagram and subscribe to his YouTube and everything, and follow me on Instagram, Jake Kelly with 4 underscores. Follow where I'm going to be putting all my work, jakekelly.archive. And I'm going to, by the time you see this, have a YouTube channel, so everybody subscribe to that. And I wish you all nothing but success, and I hope you follow me on this journey and support. Thank you all. Have a good night, Ross. I'll see you, bro.
Good talking to you.
Yes, sir.